Earlier this season, 270 people walked through my yard, and as you can imagine, I got a lot of questions. So I compiled them all here, and I'm going to break this down into a series where I talk about my most frequently pointed out shrubs, trees, and perennials. These are clearly the plants that stood out in the garden. So if you're trying to get ideas for your garden, these are the plants that stood out here in mine. If you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Michelle. I garden here in Atlanta, Georgia, newly Zone 8A, and I love to grow all the things both edible and beautiful with a special focus on perennial plants because I like a low maintenance garden that you can plant once and enjoy for years to come. I've got my list with me, and today I'm going to talk about the 5 most frequently asked about shade perennials from visitors that came through my garden tour. Like I said before, we had 270 people stroll through the gardens, so I think these are the perennials that stood out the most. So if you're looking to fill your garden with perennials that have a lot of bang for their buck, these are going to be some great ones to add to your southern garden. The first one that I want to start with is Trevy Fountain Pulmonaria. I can't count on my fingers how many people asked me about this perennial. This might have been in the top 3 of most frequently asked about shade perennials. This is a fantastic perennial. These cute silvery spots make it really pop in a shade garden. And the great thing about this is that I do almost nothing to it. This is a early spring bloomer. It gets light blue to light purplish blooms in the time when daffodils are blooming in the garden. So it's really great for pollinators and really great for your soul because things are starting to bloom again in your garden. That is the only time that I actually do something to this plant. Because this is an evergreen, last year's leaves start looking really ratty around that time. So I will go through with my fingers and just rake out the older leaves to make room for all of this season's lush growth. But honestly, you probably could get away with not doing that, and this season's growth would cover up last season's growth, and it would be absolutely no big deal. I got a few comments from people asking me how I planted this and what kind of conditions it's in. So here I get a lot of dappled light. I do get morning sun, which you might see the sun peeking through here and there, but throughout the rest of the day, this is in pretty dappled shade. I didn't amend the soil here very well, except for the wood chips that have been in this spot for about 8 years. Otherwise, this is pretty heavy clay soil, and this has done great. I don't do anything else. I don't fertilize. I don't baby. This is a hands-off, low-maintenance perennial that blooms. It's evergreen, and it's really, really easy to divide. Basically, every year I've been taking a chunk off this pulmonaria and spreading it to complete this border. I love free plants in the garden, and this is one that takes really easily to division and just performs really well here in the garden. I also got a number of questions about these ferns. This is a Japanese painted fern. This is Godzilla. I've tried multiple varieties of Japanese painted ferns, and if I can convince you to just try this one, you are going to love it. It grows large and in charge with very little care and just looks stunning. The other varieties of Japanese painted ferns that I tried were just not as hardy, and they kind of petered out over time. This is a variety that will not disappoint you if you are looking for a fern with this lighter color foliage. I love the light silvery colors in a shade garden. It really reflects light and pops. This also has some streaks of purple. It definitely lives up to its name, and it almost looks painted. It's one of those color combinations that really makes you appreciate and be amazed by nature. So really great fern, Japanese painted fern, Godzilla. Behind me, I also have a number of autumn ferns. I don't know if they're brilliants. I think it is another variety of autumn fern because it spreads all over in my garden. It lends a beautiful texture and it's evergreen, so I'm grateful for some evergreen interest, especially if it came for free. But just know if you don't get a named variety like Brilliance, there is a chance that it could seed and spread throughout your garden. So if you don't want that, if you have a smaller space, definitely stick with a named variety like Autumn Brilliance and stay away from a generic autumn fern type variety container because that will be very annoying for you in the future. Heucheras were a very frequently asked about plant because it's a beautiful shade plant that offers a lot of color. It's evergreen, but also many varieties will just disappear and die in the garden here in Atlanta. And I struggled with that for years until I started planting caramel heuchera. This is a heuchera that can tolerate our heat and humidity better than other heucheras. It's a child of Heuchera villosa, which is our native heuchera, and so it's hardier for our conditions. And it's a heuchera that I haven't killed yet, and it hasn't disappointed me. I would love the purple version of it. One that does pretty well is Wildberry. I planted 6 in the landscape and 4 in container. Of the 6, I have 4 now in the landscape. In containers, plant heucheras to your heart's delight. For whatever reason, in containers, they don't die. I don't water them. I don't do anything to them. They're happy as a clam. But in the landscape, they just disappear on me. So I've started switching out my other heucheras for caramel heuchera. They are all the same color, but at least they are there. They are beautiful, large, and in charge. They will fill a space and look beautiful. They send out these gorgeous blooms, but honestly, they're pretty even without blooms. And the great thing is, this is a plant that will give you some winter interest. If we have a super, super duper hard frost and we get down to 9 degrees, obviously this foliage won't still be there. But in most winters, heuchera is there for you, and I really appreciate it in a plant. I think the lesson to be learned here is that if you want a shade garden that pops, you need to plant light colors or bright colors. This is Sun King Aurelia, and I had a number of people stop to ask me what this beautiful shrub was that I planted in the garden, and the truth is, it is a perennial. It completely dies back every year to the ground and grows fresh every year, this large and in charge, beautiful lime green color. This does have a bloom, but it's very insignificant. And honestly, if you don't look close enough, you will miss it. But the reason to plant this is for its beautiful leaves, not really its bloom. And you can see how it just lights up a shade garden. And it's no wonder that a bunch of people asked me what this was and asked me where to find it, because it's just that fantastic in a shade garden. Fifth, final shade perennial that I got a ton of questions about also falls into that category of plant those bright and light colors in the garden, and it is going to stand out and be noticed. This is from Southern Living Plants. This is Carricks Everillo, and I think this is my favorite Carricks of all time. One of the things that I started doing recently is incorporating different grasses in the gardens, and it just gives an incredible texture. And another great thing about this grass is that it is actually evergreen. If you follow a lot of northern gardener YouTubers and have planted Hooka and killed it, this is a really great southern replacement for that because it gives that graceful arching grass texture without something that is going to absolutely hate our heat and humidity. I've only had luck with Hooka in the deepest of deep shade, but this grass doesn't care as long as you don't give it too much sun. If you give it too much sun, it'll start showing signs of burn, but otherwise this is a very hardy grass that is actually evergreen in our area, which I love because evergreen interest is something that I'm trying to add more and more of in the garden. This is not a tall grass. This stays this size, and it's pretty easy to divide and spread to other parts of your garden. Overall, the things that all of these shade perennials have in common is that either they are light colored or they are bright colored. And I think that's the key to having a really great shade garden. None of these shade perennials are things that were in bloom during the garden tour, and they looked great without a single bloom. And if there's one lesson that I think I learned too late in my gardening journey is to focus on leaves rather than blooms, because these are here all season long. While the blooms will last you a few weeks and look fantastic, but if a perennial has both blooms and amazing color or texture, that is really the winning combination. So I hope that's been helpful. Previously, I shared the top 5 sun perennials that stood out in the garden. And next I'm going to do the top 5 compact shrubs and the top 5 compact trees that stood out in the garden tour. So I hope this has been helpful. If you're looking to add to your garden, definitely try some of these because clearly these are the ones that stood out amongst all the many perennials that I have crammed into my tiny small space garden. So hopefully stand out in your garden as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel, and I will see you in the next video.